attitude of, look, we've got a very strong NATO, as witnessed by the summit declaration last week. We have got sanctions on you. We know what you're up to. We just had the indictment of 12 Russian agents in the election meddling investigation. It's time for you to start playing ball with us. And if you play ball with us, you have a better chance of having a good relationship and getting some of the things that you want than you do if you fight it against us. You know, John Huntsman said that opening a line of communication, you know, is don't even have any dialogue with them. Don't meet with them. The president and our NATO allies, for that matter, think that having communication with Russia is better than not having any communication at all. But there are a lot of people, and I think Ambassador Huntsman is one of them, who want to see the president send a clear message to Putin that by virtue of these indictments, we've got your number. Even though you have denied many, many times that the Russian government had anything to do with election meddling, we've got a lot of evidence that says exactly the opposite. We expect that when these midterm elections come around, we're not going to hear a peep out of Russia in terms of trying to sway the vote. Now, that's a pretty tall order, because Russia could just as easily ignore it and continue doing what it did back in the
tomorrow. As you made a good point, John, much of what we are going to hear in the coming minutes will be from the U.S. Ambassador John Huntsman, the ambassador to Russia, setting this up. Typically, when you have these meetings between two heads of state, there is at least some agreements about what is going to come out of the meeting. As you've obviously reported a number of Seoul, we know how that ended up. Not very well, to say the least. We can watch now some of the president's limit as the steps are just about to head out. We can see the door opening that President Trump will walk out of. John, as we take a look at this picture, 9:02 p.m.
there in Slovenia for that meeting. And when President Bush walked out with Putin and said, I looked him in the eye, I saw his soul, we all thought, wow, you better have a pretty good read on this guy, because given his history, you know, you want to be sure of him before you make a statement like that. But, I mean, in terms of the city itself,
so different about this particular summit, and we talk about on the heels of, in context, obviously, on the heels of the NATO summit, and then also on the heels of those 12 indictments. So how has the landscape changed? Because you have so many pundits on
President Trump head down the steps here. Talk to us on the other side about this, about what reception President Trump gets from Vladimir Putin. Putin has been very good about talking to President Trump about the deep state and saying, really, it's our staffs that don't want us to get along. We can be friends. Does President Putin arrive to protest as well? Look at this from the Russian angle for us.
I mean, I think if you take a look at the two times that President Trump and President Putin have met at the Hamburg G20 summit a year ago, it was just about a year ago, actually, this